Hello, Stephenville. Each week we sit down with an interesting person in Erath County and ask them 10 questions. Today we sit down with Stephenville ISD Superintendent Dr. Darrell Floyd and ask 10 questions about his everyday life. How are you, Dr. Floyd?
Good. Good to see you, Micah.
Good. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about your daily responsibilities with Stephenville ISD.
Okay, I would say that my daily responsibilities include the day-to-day operations of the school district. The school board's kind of in charge of governing the school district, and then the superintendent and administration are in charge of running the day-to-day operations of the school district, whatever that entails and everything that entails.
Mm-hmm. Very neat. Well, I'm sure you had a few jobs before you finally have gotten here to be superintendent, but what was your very first job?
In education, my very first job was as a teacher and a coach. And that was out in far west Texas in Odessa, and taught and coached out there for a few years before I got my master's degree and got started in administration.
Very neat. Who do you count as your mentors?
I have several mentors depending on what area it is, but as far as what I do now on a daily basis, some of my mentors are former superintendents that I've had. Dr. Jerry Cook was my superintendent when I was high school principal at Castleberry ISD. Have relied on him throughout the years. Dr. Chester Duraska is currently superintendent over at Alvarado. He was one of my former superintendents as well when I was high school principal. And then another guy that I use that's kind of a peer / mentor is the guy that I started out in administration with years ago in Waco. We started out as assistant principals together in Waco, and that's Dr. Robert Duran, and he's currently superintendent in San Antonio ISD.
Wow. All right. Well, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
I'd like to be significantly taller. I think I would point to that, yeah.
All right, well, in your position as the superintendent, what do you count as your greatest opportunities that you face?
I think our greatest opportunities on a daily basis in education as a whole is to try to ensure that kids have what they need in the way of opportunities to achieve whatever they're trying to achieve. Whether it be academics or extracurricular activities, it's our job to try to ensure that we provide them with all that is necessary in order to provide them with those opportunities to have chances to succeed. Because every parent that sends their kid to school wants them to have an opportunity to be successful, and that's what we want as well.
All right. Well, on the flip side of that, what are your greatest challenges that you face?
In the superintendent role, one of the greatest challenges, ongoing challenges that superintendents have is how to deal with school finance. Public school finance, the whole system is broken, and until the legislature figures out a way to fix that broken system, we're going to continue struggling with that. It's just a system that has been tweaked over the years, and then with tax compression legislation that was supposed to offset with this business tax, that didn't work out the way the legislator would have liked to, and now school boards, the authority of school boards to set the tax rate where the local district needs it set in order to generate the money necessary to run the day-to-day operations of the district, that authority has been taken away from them now as well. So it's a difficult conundrum that administrators have to deal with in trying to deal with a broken finance system and still trying to provide our kids what they need.
All right. How has technology impacted the way you do business today?
I'd say it has transformed the way we do business significantly, from the way we communicate with each other, to the way we educate kids, to the way we are trying to prepare them for the future, and the way we try to deal with native technology students versus immigrant technology folks like us. I mean, the kids that are coming to school nowadays, those are native technology users, and many of us that are in education are immigrants to that world, and we have to kind of balance that. And those of us that are immigrants sometimes are slow to come around to that technology, but I will say that it has been a very positive impact and influence on education as a whole. And back to the other question, we've got to find a way to fund that burgeoning technology animal such that we can fund it appropriately and provide our kids with the necessary technology tools that they need to be successful.
All right. Tell us something about you that most people do not know.
I'm kind of a history buff and like to watch the History Channel.
Well, what's your favorite show on the History Channel?
I like to watch Pawn Stars on there sometimes. I like all the history stuff, but that's a really interesting show because they bring all the historical artifacts in, and some of them worth something and some not. I think that's an interesting show.
It is a lot of fun. And lastly, if you could have a different career other than what you're doing today, what would it be?
If I was doing something different than I'm doing now, I would have been much taller and much faster and playing professional baseball.
Any particular team you'd hope to be on?
Well, I'm a big Ranger fan. Go Rangers!
All right, well, thanks, Dr. Floyd, and thank you, Stephenville. Be sure to check back to Empire-Tribune.com frequently to see who we'll sit down with next.